you write in the book that you thought you never would write a book. What inspired you to do this?
Actually, yes, you're right. I never think I will write. It was like memory that I live with my grandmother, I live with my dad, I live inside the society, I lived that childhood inside the old city, and it was amazing. That sometimes I remember beautiful moments and I like to write it. And many of my friends who read that things and they say, Amoun, you should have it in a book because it's beautiful memories. And many people, they don't know that you was living that childhood or you were across all this kind of memories when you were kids. And from that time I took it as a serious, and I think, why not? I have nothing to be ashamed from, and the world should really know what being a child and what being a woman in the society and among the people's eyes.
Writing a book, was it a difficult process?
Verdine, first of all, my own language, it was not English, of course, and to write it in English, it was kind of advantage for me, and it was something I never used to. Yes, it was very, very difficult in the beginning, especially even sometimes two-sided take. Mostly things that I remember my difficult moments and beautiful moments, it was very difficult. But in the meantime, it was encouragement that I still lived that golden life in that time. And it was for me a beautiful experience to work with a lady from the United States. Her name is Virginia. I sent her the greeting from here, who drive me crazy and let me sit some hours on the chair that I never used to. But it was the most beautiful moments in my life. And I learned a lot from that lady, and I learned a lot from being serious and write something that people will really respect later.
Your impressions are?
Well, I had talked to her back and forth on Facebook and gotten her story and seen her pictures. But the first time I met her was when she came into my den. And she walked in and immediately hugged my neck. So we were friends before we were friends. And it just went on from there. We made an immediate connection.
Any particular stories that really caught your attention as you wrote them?
Well, you have to go with my background as a teacher. And the story that she tells about being there with the teacher who told her that she was a gypsy and she didn't have any right to be in school. As a teacher myself, and having taught children from many different cultures, because I taught in military communities, I cannot imagine telling a child from any culture that they had no right to be in school. That just really, it was very upsetting to me. One of the funniest stories was about her relationship with the priest at St. Anne's Church. And when she started telling and giving the visual image of having gotten into the fish in the pond that she was fishing for, that were supposed to be just there for decoration, and him flying after her with his heavy cross swinging back and forth and his skirts behind her, it was just great fun to watch her because I could see him doing that from her description.
Was there a theme or a message that you took away from it?
I have long had an interest in the gypsy people for several different reasons. There's several children's books that have gypsy protagonists, and there's several books that I've read that give gypsies a stereotype that is incorrect. And I guess one of the major things I would like for people to take from that is that gypsy people are unique in many ways. They have many special things to offer the world. But underneath all of that, they're real people, just like you and me. They have joys, they have sorrows, they have disappointments, and they absolutely can add a world of pleasure to the rest of the world when they're given that opportunity.
As a writer, I've heard you say, that you were concerned for her voice to come through. Can you talk about that a little?
Well, as I've said, her English was not always in the right order or in the standard order. So that was a challenge. The other thing was that frequently she didn't tell her stories in a chronological order. So I had to kind of figure out how old was she when that story happened, what order did it fit in the story. And one of my major concerns was that in my efforts to get all of that in a coherent order, And in order to be sure that it fit the reader's need to read it in standard English, I didn't want to lose her very unique voice, because she is a very special person. She tells things in her own way. She's very entertaining in the way that she tells things, and I wanted to be sure that that was the voice that came through, not my voice.
Amoun, what message do you want your readers to take away from once they've read the book?
Actually, first of all, I always appreciate the elderly from my community, especially my dad and my grandmother, how she was amazing and fighter when she was really take care of a big family from that time. And I want people to appreciate the gypsy woman and the life of gypsy woman, and people can understand this woman is standing there for her family and appreciate very simple life. And appreciate to be a gypsy and a woman, and how much it was difficult and struggling just to be a female inside such a society and inside such a mentality that man is always leading. And also in the meantime to bring the message of my grandmother and that father, that he raised a great family all by himself for many, many years. He was a widow and he raised a great family based on love and share with others.
The title of your book is A Gypsy Dreaming in Jerusalem. It's quite a dream come true to publish a book.
Completely.
Are your dreams finished?
Not yet. I still looking for that bigger dream, that I can see my people live in peace and respect. And many of the gypsy children and women can reach their hope. And one day I can see this community being acceptable, one of the minorities that living in this Holy Land. And we're still working on the dream to make it happen.
All authors want to sell books. So we wish you great success in selling your book.
Thank you so much, Virginia.
But we wish you more success in the development of the Dome Society.
Thank you so much, Verdine, and I'm hoping also people can really buy this book and see the story, and in the meantime they can really also bring this message to other of their friends, and it's already success just to have this message out.